On your mark, get set, go! On road, control, very nice. Right there on the concrete. Everything's great, got no issues. Pull it out in the mud. It's not terrible bad out here because I've compacted this really well and I've got a lot of gravel, but it is a noticeable difference, especially once I get right here in this mud. On your mark, get set, go! Okay, that would actually work just fine. On the other side, this jack actually bumped a little bit. On this side, it's not really a problem. Oh my goodness. All right, so definitely tell there's a lot more clearance with this one right here, but the struggle of getting it in there is definitely real. It's not, it's definitely more of an issue. One of the things I like what they did here is this is such a big, these are such big wheels. You can tell they sink into the ground, but they made a nice flat pan here, unlike this other one, which is not necessary on this other one. But this is wide open, so if that sinks, which it is less likely to sink, then there's, it's just going to sink on down right in there. But because they know that these bigger wheels are likely to sink, they put this nice flat plate in here so it sinks down and then it hits up against that flat plate and it gives it something good to rest. There we go. I really like these tires right here, guys. These are 14-ply tires, and it's my humble opinion that everyone should get 14-ply tires for a trailer that you're going to haul very much weight in. You don't have to, but you're going to save yourself a lot of trouble and a lot of money in the long run because these 14-ply tires just seem to last a lot longer. In doing that, I'm saving some money by only buying the one wheel. So I left the older wheel on here. Now, of course, it's still got tread. If it didn't have any tread on it, I would go ahead and discard it. But it's still a very good tire. I just had one blowout on this trailer. And I could just change one wheel out, but I really feel a lot better about changing one on each side. Just because I know if one blows out, there's a chance the other could go ahead and blow out. But I feel pretty good as long as I've got one set on here. So I'm not going to go ahead and change all 4 tires out, even though I could. These are very, very pricey. So for me, I'm just going to buy the 2 as long as my other front ones seem to be in good condition. DeWalt is not as good as a Milwaukee, but it will get the job done. So just a little tip for you. I learned this traveling the roads welding. If you do keep an older tire, you know, if you buy a new tire for a tandem axle trailer, whether it's a 2 or 3 axle trailer, put your newest tires or your best tires in the back. In this case, this is being a 14 ply and this one being a 10 ply. This one's going to be the best tire, but also it's newer. The reason being is when you're driving forward, you know, your tire is rotating like this. So if this back tire blows out, it comes at 70 miles an hour or however fast you're going and hits that other tire, and those wires will flatten this tire out. Trust me, I've experienced it, okay? So then you end up in a real bind because you flatten one tire and you only have a spare for this other tire, okay? But if you take this tire, you know, so if you put your best tire here and then say this bad tire does happen to blow out, then your bad tire, if it's moving, rotating like this and it blows out, then that it's going to come from the bottom. So the road slows it down significantly before it hits this tire, and it's much less likely to do it. Also, these 14 plies seem to be more resistant even to that right there. I never like to tighten any of my lugs all the way up with an impact, even if it is just a DeWalt. And of course, anyone who's ever used a torque wrench knows it is best not to leave the torque wrench set. It's best to back it all the way out. And guys, I do understand, and I feel very fortunate and very blessed to be in a place where I can actually buy 2 jacks. I know, you know, I was definitely in a place many years ago. No, not many years ago. I mean to say I've been in a place many times where I wouldn't even let myself buy anything outside of an old bottle jack that I found at the scrapyard and I rebuilt. Bought new seals for it. And that's all I would use, you know, and you climb up underneath the truck and you put some boards under it and you call it good. And if you're a young man and you're just getting started, that's what I suggest. Save your money and do that. But I am very fortunate that I'm in a place where I can have the 2 jacks, even though I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I'm really wondering at this point if I would have just gone ahead and bought just this one jack right here. So this Pittsburgh brand right here was given to me. I would not buy this and rebuild an engine with it. But since I've got it, I mean, I have watched some reviews on it and I was very impressed. For doing something like lug nuts and stuff, I don't think there's anything wrong with this right here for the price. I think it's worth the money for that, for sure. All right, guys, so what's my thought on these 2 jacks now that I've had a chance to use both of them? Definitely, hands down, I absolutely love everything about using this one here on the farm. It is 3-ton instead of 4-ton. I do wish they made it in the 4-ton because I have definitely gotten close to maxing this 4-ton out one time picking up the back of my big tractor. So I do wish that. But with that being said, 6,000 pounds is a lot of capacity for most people. So this is going to be an excellent jack. I really like everything about it, honestly, except for that 3-ton. But like I said, most people, that's not going to be a big problem. I love the fact that I can pick it up very easily. It's balanced excellently. It picks up and move around so much easier than this jack. I guess the real question is, if I would have been able to buy this jack, would I have bought this one? The answer to that is no. I would have bought this one right here and then decided whether or not to buy this one. I would have bought this one later if I ever needed it. And realistically, what I probably would have done is owned this one, done everything I could, and then just did without this one. That's the real honest truth about it. But if I ever had the money or something like that, I might would eventually go to this one if I had to. This one is nice on the concrete and in some ways nicer than this one. Not enough ways to matter, in my opinion, if you're working on big equipment, okay? But with my wife's car and things like that that we work with, and even like this golf cart over here, it is nice to be able to have something that rides a little bit lower than this one right here. With that being said, I might would have gone with the ultra low. I might would have had this and then gone with the ultra low, especially if this was in 4,000, in 4 ton. Okay. So the creators of this right here, this Badland, I would definitely suggest maybe making one in a 4 ton. That's just my needs. Y'all throw in the comments whether or not that's y'all's needs. Do you think that you would ever need a 4 ton, or is 3 ton enough for you? I might would have gone with this one and then the ultra skinny that they have. With that being said, the one reason I went with this 4 ton is because it is Harbor Freight. Okay. Harbor Freight does make cheap tools. I always look at the tools and I always am careful and I do my research before I buy a tool, but I also tend to go heavier duty with my tools just for that off chance, because I know the company that I'm buying from. But overall, both of these are absolute excellent jacks. Whichever one you're in the market for, I wouldn't hesitate. I mean, I've owned this one for quite a while. My brother has owned this one for almost the same amount of time. And now that I've got this one in my hands, I absolutely love it. It really is changing my life, as far as how much I like it, guys. So whichever one you want, I think they're both going to be absolutely great, guys. Go check them out. Thank you.